Hey everyone, welcome and welcome back to my channel once again. This is Abhishek, who is not a financial advisor, and welcome to the new video in which we are going to talk about the next EHANG. Yeah, it might not be the next EHANG, but definitely it's going on that particular path. And yeah, we are going to talk about Luokung Technology today. So let's just get started. Okay guys, so now let's look into the company, Luokung. So they are devoted to provide the most efficient and most dependable spatial temporal data services worldwide. So for those who are not aware about this term spatial temporal, let me explain. So this is made up of two terms, spatial and temporal. Spatial refers to space and temporal refers to time, and thus spatio-temporal. So spatio-temporal, or let's say spatial temporal, is used in data analysis when data is collected across both space and time. And let's say it's a phenomena in a certain location and time. For example, let's say for shipping something from one place to another. So shipping movements across a geographic area over time, and therefore a person can use spatial temporal reasoning to solve multi-step problems by envisioning how actually objects move in space and time. So in also everyday life, you might see spatial temporal reasoning examples. For example, merging in traffic while driving and determining how many objects can fit into one box, or let's say how your car can fit into between two cars. This is actually spatial temporal reasoning. Yeah, you're trying to move in time and move in a particular space. And spatial temporal reasoning applies to also healthcare industry by determining the best distribution and performance of medical care. And spatial temporal analysis can also examine patterns of illness in case of healthcare industry over time and show anything which could be unusual. Now, spatial temporal reasoning is also important in the development of artificial intelligence, and that's what we will see here in Luokung Technology, and that's what they're mastering in. Now it has many applications in natural language processing, geographic information systems, like I just explained to you guys, computational biology, document interpretation. There are millions of applications where spatial temporal reasoning and services and data analysis can be applied. So now let's move on into the depth analysis of what Luokung Technologies is actually doing and how this will affect the company's future in a positive direction, of course. So the first application where the technology will be used is in smart transportation. So based on the full vector non-sliced map technology, we will provide real-time spatial temporal computation and intelligent POI recommendation services for complex scenarios combining persons, vehicles, locations, and things. Based on our spatial temporal data engine, we provide management, query, and analysis services for more than 1 trillion tracks of people and vehicles. In Nanjing's vehicle tracking management system, which has been operating for 3 years, we have provided a real-time query functionalities in 4 dimensions by time, by space, by ID, and by logical association of time and space. Based on our spatial temporal cloud index technology, a data fusion service across multiple databases and indexes in smart transportation has been established to break the barriers among B clouds and to support spatial business needs. So guys, this is what is the first technology where their Luokung's spatial temporal technology will be used. Then moving on, we have another really interesting feature where Luokung's spatial temporal technology will be used, which is autonomous driving, guys. And we have seen that how this feature and this technology is getting the hype. For example, let's take the case of FRSX. Now, based on the full vector non-sliced map technology, which is actually quite not that common, used for autonomous driving, we provide spatial temporal service to enable exclusive lane for autonomous vehicles. Based on spatial temporal cloud index technology with edge and cloud collaboration, we offer a new HD map solution on top of an approach of collecting while using to leverage the observation and measurement capabilities of the vehicles. So guys, this is what they are trying to do. So they are trying to involve a different technology using different AI algorithms and not actually following the most basic way, which is actually being adopted by many autonomous driving companies, or let's say the automobile companies or automotive industry, which they are adopting. So that's why this could be one of the really key highlights for us investors, that this might be the future of autonomous driving, at least in China. Okay, so moving on, to enhance the autonomous driving experience, they will also have a feature vehicle to road communication. So what it means that it's not vehicle to vehicle communication. So as you can see, this is not just vehicle to vehicle distance. We also need a lot more than that. So this means vehicle to road communication. That means there are many other things in the environment, in the surroundings, which a car needs to be aware of. Yeah, the signals, people moving, zebra crossing, objects and stuff like that. That's why this is called as vehicle to road communication and not just vehicle to vehicle communication. So based on the full vector non-sliced map technology, so it's a full vector. Yeah, that means in every direction there will be a vector, and non-sliced map technology, mapping all the objects around, we can push live traffic of the road and report the special road conditions on the side of the road. So these are the special road conditions, like you can see on the side of the road, and publish these live data on the online map in real time. So this mapping in real time will be needed. So for example, especially the companies from outside of China which wants to open up or which wants to expand their business in China, China being one of the biggest economies, then they will need the maps of China, which they won't have. And that's when Luokung Technology and their such technology will come into action. So this means more and more projects from such automotive companies which are outsiders, so not original automotive manufacturers from China. So, and therefore Luokung Technologies will be having a lot of progress and success in the future. But anyways, moving on, based on the edge and cloud collaboration technology, we support the local collaborative linkage and vehicle to road communication, like I just explained. So they will be enhancing such communication in the maps and from vehicles to vehicles and vehicle to road communication for autonomous driving, with a delay of less than 20 microseconds within the radius of 2 kilometers, and bring about one map for vehicles and roads, one brain for vehicles on roads, and presence awareness among vehicles. So they will not be using, let's say, one brain for all the awareness. They will have a division, and therefore the driving intention of each vehicle is aggregated in order to give the next minute comprehensive analysis and collaboration. Okay guys, so now moving on to remote sensing data services. So they have built a cloud service platform for real-time processing, distribution and application of large-scale image data, which can provide real-time processing and publishing dynamic service and online applications of 100 PB image data. As a technical service provider to China Center for Resources, Satellite Data and Application and various cloud service providers, we are the supplier of PaaS and SaaS cloud services of National Remote Sensing Data Platform. Now guys, why this is also important? Well, because let's say everything, literally everything, Internet of Things, which we will get onto in a moment, that means everything will be having microchips, sensors, EV drones, autonomous driving. Every automotive vehicle will be creating a huge data. And let's say for the real-time mapping, yeah, and for the GPS, for the kinetic GPS technology, the images are huge. So there will be more and more data from all these technologies being used, and in the future the data size will only increase, and therefore a requirement of a data processing system and a good and reliable database. And in that case, remote sensing data services from Luokung will come into action. And guys, this is why I am quite bullish on this company, because literally no one is really aware about this dynamic environment which will be created in the future. Everything will be based on these technologies, and there will be a huge demand of such companies. Now, I'm not saying that Luokung is the only company doing that. There are many competitors as well, but until now, I only see this company with the most appreciated technology being used. And now, one more important factor, which is the Internet of Things. We provide cloud service managing real-time data from up to 100 million sensors for a smart city Internet of Things and industrial Internet of Things, which is really, really important, guys. And this is the future, to be honest. So like we just talked about that they will also providing a smart city solution. So they will provide high performance foundational spatial temporal cloud platform services to the whole industry chain service providers of smart city based on our core spatial temporal technology, which removes the bottleneck of massive data handling. We built a non-sliced spatial temporal map combining multiple heterogeneous data sources to serve the infrastructural construction of smart cities. So like we saw in the case of autonomous driving, there is not just one brain handling every data from the surroundings. They will actually make brain slicing, which actually means that it will be divided by different processors and it will be doing a parallel processing type of processing for handling different types of data so that it can do it much easily. So we have developed successful cases and best practices in transportation, environmental protection, emergency response, city operation, business intelligence, and other industries. So they have already tested this technology in the different sectors. So just to explain you guys what we already discussed in a quick summary, that this is how their business model would look like in future, or let me rephrase, is already looking like, because we will get on to that in a moment. They are already getting the contracts and they are already collaborating with other big companies. So anyways, they will be in smart transportation, autonomous driving with HD mapping, remote sensing, Internet of Things and smart city implementation, mobile and internet, LBS, and BDO high precision positioning. So since we talked about their business integration, these are the three important acquisitions which they have already done in the past. Acquisition of Super Engine in August 2018, which was responsible for advanced spatial temporal data indexing technology, possesses 15 patents and 9 patent application right in US, Europe, Japan and China, and which is 1,000 times faster than competing technologies such as ArcGIS or PostGIS in data processing. And also in 2019, they did acquisition of BotBrain in artificial intelligence, which is China's leading smart content solution provider for, of course, machine learning, semantic analysis, knowledge graphs. And then in the same year, they also did acquisition of EMG, which is one of the leading navigation electronic map services providers in China. So guys, such acquisitions are really important, and that's why such companies might have really bad financials. The reason being, such companies are in their expansion phase. They are in the acquisition phase. Like we saw, they are acquiring companies, and for this they need money, guys. So due to such expansion of businesses and acquisitions, that's why we as investors might experience things like lagging in earnings per share in their quarterly report, or dilution, because they need cash to expand the business. And that's why I think, guys, that Luokung Technology might be on the right path, because here's a proof. In 2019, Hornbridge Holdings Limited invested $12 million to subscribe 2 million shares at $6 per share. And that's not it. In November 2019, in the same year, Geely Technology invested $42.5 million to subscribe for 21 million shares at $1.95 per share. And apart from that, Geely Auto also decided to become their strategic business partner and was a second largest shareholder and in-depth strategic business partner. And guys, this is quite interesting for me to see that how many big companies, global big companies, are actually the business partners of Luokung Technology, like China Center of Resources, Satellite Data and Application, National Geospatial Information Center, BDO Positioning. Okay, these are the Chinese companies, but then let's move on to the global companies. Continental, Dell EMC, Geely Auto. Okay, Geely Auto is also Chinese, but Volvo, and then GETC Cloud. And the most important thing is, guys, that these are the business partners for different solutions what Luokung Technology is providing, like autonomous driving and HD maps, GIS based spatial planning solutions, for core data engine solutions, everything, smart city, Internet of Things. So what we can see from here is that their diversification is actually helping them to grow their business. And I mean, this is a plus point for Luokung, guys, as their solution can be implemented into various industries, like we already saw, as one project. So they can simply form a network of solutions. In short, or in layman's language, Luokung will have one solution for everything at one place. So like you can see, they already formed such a project, Luokung Smart digital base, which will be providing mobile internet LBS solution, spatial temporal industry application, and data services. So you just get into this one base technology solution and you can get a complete package for your whole environment. And that's amazing, guys. Okay guys, so now I just want to go through quickly to the financials, though I said that I don't want to show you guys the financials as it doesn't make sense, as they are not that good. But according to me, guys, it's not bad. I mean, having a loss, because I already explained that. But anyways, so let's have a look at the total revenue. So total revenue has been decreasing over the years. Okay, now in trailing 12-month period, it was around $20 million, which is okay. The cost of revenue is quite huge, and therefore the gross profit is not that good. The operating expenses is $41 million, which is quite bad, and that's a really bad operating margin, and that's why we have an operating loss, and so on and so on. I don't want to dig deeper, like I said. And then we go on to the balance sheet, and the balance sheet, the total assets are $117,000, current assets $40,000, and total liabilities are $63,000. That's okay, and current liabilities are less. So okay, that's actually, the balance sheet is quite good. Not that good, but still acceptable. And that is quite important, because we can neglect the losses, for instance, but we cannot neglect the balance sheet, because that's a recipe for bankruptcy. And then we have an operating cash flow in negative, okay, and investing cash flow negative, financing cash flow is positive, and then end cash position of $252,000. So anyways, guys, this is of course not the best financials, and like I already explained, that the financials of the company doesn't look so good, but I still wanted to show you the bad side of the company. Though, like I said, it's not the bad side, guys. The company is in the expansion phase. What we should focus on, the upcoming projects and the contracts, and the company does have a lot of upcoming contracts. And as you can see right here, that the Luokung Technology corporate announces $100 million registered direct offerings. So this was 2 days ago, and it's finished. The price was the direct offering target price was 2.01 or $2.1. Anyways, so as you can see, the stock price is rising. We and my patrons, we entered at $2.1, and yeah, it's still late though. I expected to actually enter this a month ago when it was just at 60 cents. But anyways, better late than never, because I still see that this company has huge potential. I personally think that this could be next EHANG. But anyways, it has a really long way to go, so that's a long-term story. For now, like I said, that we will face these direct offerings, and Luokung actually has a history of doing such direct offerings. But I already explained this, guys, that the company is in the expansion phase. We already saw the company has a negative cash flow, so they need cash to do such acquisitions and expand their business to grow. So they are in the growing phase. Let's give the company a small benefit of doubt. And of course, this is not a buying suggestion or any financial advice, but I personally already bought at $2.1, and my patrons also, we bought at $2.1, and we are holding this strong. We are holding this for long run, and we see a potential of 10x easily for this particular stock. So yeah, I will keep holding this. But now let's have a quick look at the chart. So guys, this is the LKCO chart, and this is a 30-minute chart, and we can see that with respect to the 1-day chart, this is quite a bullish chart. So if we go on 1 day, that there are this is a really big huge spike, and these two huge candles, this is a big bullish pattern, and then we saw a small dip. So let's go back to the 30-minute chart. So we see here, this is a region of value. So that means this is the resistance level, yeah. And then we saw a big spike. There's a big gap here, yeah. So if we just move this box here, so this is a big gap here. And then we saw that, okay, we waited, we saw that there's a big spike, but then the stock price should have a pullback, and it had a pullback. And then we formed this region of value. So region of value simply means that we see these candles with wicks, but the green candles with the wicks are not extending or passing the last resistance, let's say here, or the red candle with the body and the wick. And that's when I decided to enter in this particular company at 2.1. So we have this 2.1, or we can also say that these are nice support levels. So we get a green candle, then it falls back, then we again got a green candle, and we got a doji. So this was a strong buying entry for me, and that's when I entered into this stock. And now after this, we see that there are many retracements. So we might have we have here a resistance level. So if it breaks this resistance, that would be nice. And then we have a good resistance at 3.6. You see here 3.6, this is a retracement. And if it breaks 3.6, then I think there will be a new high, and then this might go crazy. So this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this particular resistance level and a retracement level. But until then, I'm quite comfortable holding this at $2.1, which we already have entered. And yeah, so we have quite a lot of resistance here at these retracements. These are not strong resistance, to be honest, because as we can see, there are good support levels at these retracements as well. I don't consider these levels as resistance levels, or let's say this might be a problem, 3.4, because from here we got a big downtrend. But yeah, I'm looking for 3.6, to be honest. So this is what I believe and might happen with Luokung Technology. But again, guys, this is not a financial advice. This is just my opinion on this company, and I am quite bullish on this company, and I will stay bullish until and unless the fundamentals change. Yeah, the fundamentals are actually already not so good, so I don't think it can be getting worse. And with all the direct offerings they are doing, I think this might affect their cash position in a good way. So I'm looking forward for a good news for Luokung Technology. And like I said, guys, this could be the next EHANG. I mean, that's a really vague statement. I mean, that's quite positive, to be honest. I'm not expecting this to hit $70 or $80 anytime soon, but I mean, the technology they are working on and the projects they are getting, I am quite optimistic about this company, and I will keep holding for a long run. So not shorting this at all, and this could be big. So have patience. And again, this is not a financial advice, guys. This is just my opinion and my style of trading and my style of investing in short-term to mid-term trades. But this is, like I said, this is for me a long-term hold. Anyways, guys, that's it for today. That's it for Luokung Technology. I will see you in the next one. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy, and ciao.